Welcome back. You are tapped into Jammin with Juice, and like you heard the theme song say, y'all, it is time for Somethin Juicy. And one of the first things that I want to bring up here is the fact that a very popular show is getting a sequel, and I'm very excited about this sequel because I used to watch this show growing up all the time, and I am talking about A Different World. A Different World sequel series is going to be returning to Netflix, and they are taking us back to Hillman College with the iconic series A Different World, and it has been greenlit officially after months of development. So it is set at the same beloved fictional HBCU, and it introduces Deborah Wayne as the daughter of Dwayne Wayne and Whitley Gilbert. And as Deborah begins her freshman year, she must balance the weight of her parents' legacy with carving her own path. Now, Debbie Allen is going to return as the director and the producer, and Felicia Pride is going to lead the series as writer, executive producer, and showrunner. But it does still remain unclear which other OGs from the original series will make an appearance. Now, there is a fresh new cast filled with some newcomers and some people who have already been like on Broadway and things like that. But one person who I specifically want to mention is Tashina Arnold's daughter, Elijah Kai. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, but I'm really happy for her personally, just because I've been seeing her grow on social media, and I've been seeing her on the red carpets out there with her mom, Tashina Arnold, and she has such a personality, you guys, that is very infectious, I would say, and you're just 100% attracted to her when you hear her speak. She kind of reminds you of her mom. Like, she's very loud, she's very funny and comical, but it's almost like she does it in her own way, so to speak, you know? So the cast is going to be really good, I'm hoping for, and I think it's a really great idea. I don't know about y'all. Do y'all think that it's a good idea to have a sequel to A Different World? Mm-hmm. I mean, personally, when I used to watch A Different World, I want to say I got hooked on it when I was already like in college, but it used to come on TV One all the time, and I would just watch the reruns all the time, and I'm like, man, it made me want to go to an HBCU, almost so much that I almost transferred to one, you know, when I was in the middle of being in college. I think I was looking at like Clark Atlanta or something like that. I don't know, but it was just a necessary piece of work. And even when it aired back then, I believe it was like, was it 90s when that show first aired? 80s, 90s?
Yeah, I believe it was like late 80s, early 90s though, for sure.
Yes, what you said. And they said that they didn't know and they didn't realize at the time that they were about to usher in an entirely new generation of people who wanted to get a college education, who wanted to specifically go to a HBCU just so they could get those experiences that, you know, were told on the storylines. And it was just such a positive way of connecting the Cosby Show and transitioning it over to, you know, Denise going to college. I know she didn't stay on the show, but just in general, it was a positive show for the younger generation to know, like, hey, you should want to go to college. These are the experiences you're going to have, and it's nothing like going to a HBCU. So this next generation, now that it's going to be coming out, I believe they said it's planned for like 2026 on Netflix. Okay. But I'm hoping that it encourages the younger generation. And what is that, Gen Z?
Gen Z, but Generation Alpha's coming up next.
Them too, yes, all of them. I'm hoping that it encourages them to want to go to college, because I think right now, with the times that we are in, and there's a lot of just negativity around college, and it's not worth it because AI is going to be taking all of your jobs and all of that. While a lot of that is true, I still think it's necessary to get a college degree, you know, if that's for you. And so maybe this show will encourage them to want to get a degree and to have those experiences and just, you know, be a better version of themselves as they get older. So what do you think?
Not true, Juice. And even if they don't go ahead and get a degree and that's not the influence that this show gives them, I hope that at the end of the day, this show tackles real life situations I've had said time and time again that a lot of the programming of the TV shows or the shows that we watch on Netflix or may it be Zeus television, whatever it may be, isn't the good programming that we actually need. We don't need to see those types of shows. A lot of it is truly trash TV. But you know, back in the day, Different World and a lot of different other sitcom shows actually tackled things that we faced in real life situations, like whether it was racism or colorism, or you know, when it was AIDS awareness then, will they tackle the fentanyl crisis now, you know, domestic violence that's always rampant. You know, I would like for them to tackle things like that, or even the war. You know, I would like them to talk about, you know, what's happening over there in Gaza. I want them to, you know, inform the people, but through a black lens. You know, a lot of times we never even get a chance to do those types of things. So the fact that Netflix is, you know, gun-ho and set to take up a TV show such as A Different World that comes with a lot of controversy, if you will, because that comes off of the brainchild of Bill Cosby. So I wonder how they go about tackling all of those problems, because I need to see that again. You know, I miss a good moral, the moral to the story.
Yeah,
you know, that was
when they put the sentimental music on behind it, and
you know what I'm saying? Like, I miss those types of things.
You got the characters feeling disappointed in themselves when they, you know, do something wrong.
The school bully that came in, but really the school bully only bully people because he getting beat up at home,
or he's poor,
or he's super poor,
going through trash cans, getting food, and then you find him and he's like, man,
like, I gotta eat canned beans for dinner. This all me and my dad got, man.
Right,
like,
I'm projecting onto you.
Money. Yeah, like, and I really want them to tackle those things, because as we are talking about A Different World, another show that is, you know, sentimental to the black community, that is actually pretty damn good. And actually, I'll probably watch one of the best seasons during my time off. With the Proud Family.
Proud Family was really good.
Oh my God.
I like that they brought it back,
refurbished, brand new
generation too.
And it feels good. It feels good. I wanted to say it's even more black than what the original one was back in 2002, 2003. Like, this is on the type of stuff where I'm talking about again. You're coming home feeling fulfilled. Like, dang, I never thought about life like that. So I hope A Different World has producers and writers who is thinking in that realm.
Yeah.
You know, because again, we need that positive representation. We need that positive representation. We don't need to think that we all just gonna grow up and the next generation gonna grow up to be a whole bunch of YBs and YNs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me isn't cool. It doesn't move the needle for me. I need them to see that they can be good at math. I need them to see that they can be doctors. I need to see, you know, the dark-skinned girl who doesn't feel right, you know what I'm saying, in a predominantly white society, or even around light-skinned girls, she may feel some type of way, or vice versa, however it may be. But I need to see those perspectives. You know, I need to see those perspectives so we can grow as a United States of America, if you will, grow as a people, because it's definitely needed.
Like, have a message, you know, have a message that people can, a drop of juice, so to speak, that people can walk away, like you said, feeling good, feeling inspired, or even just thinking in a different way, you know, and to spark different conversations, whether that be within your family, within your friendships, relationships, etc., etc. The Proud Family is a good one, but I will say A Different World, I remember I was watching like a documentary on them, and they said that they got a lot of backlash and with some of those episodes where they were speaking about the times and politics and things that were just going on racially, to the point where the network, I forgot what network they were on at the time, but they fought to have a lot of those episodes even aired, you know, because they knew it was going to create so much controversy, but they fought for it to the end. And that type of stuff is important. So yes, the Proud Family does a really good job of that as well. It's just tackling real issues that we need to have more conversations about. And honestly, I know this is getting a little long, but like having those conversations with your family, you know, like not just you as a kid watching it by yourself, but we need to get the families back together talking about these types of things and having those connections with one another, so we are informing the youth of what is going on, because we're giving them the tools. We have to give them the tools to rule the world in a sense, you know what I'm saying? They're the future. They have to go out, like you said, go out there and succeed. So
you ain't lied, Juice. You ain't lied at all, man. Again, I feel like over the past 10, 15 years, I'm speaking to our community strictly, I think that we have been targeted, racially profiled, and programmed to, you know, not love ourselves anymore. You know, we've been seeing for the past 10, 15 years of baddies, you know, baddies New York, baddies South, baddies this, baddies that. and it's all problematic for the continuation of our race, so to speak. I've seen so many different young girls watch these shows and think that's how they're supposed to go and act. But then I've also seen a young girl turn on A Different World, because A Different World was just on Netflix. Well, it's still on Netflix, I believe, and you can go watch all the old episodes. And I remember this same young girl looking and being like, "Wow, so enamored by I forget the light skin Whitley. So enamored by Whitley. Whatever. But she was so enamored by her intelligence and just how she actually portrayed herself. It was almost as if she never even seen anybody like that before. So that's how important representation is. Like, a young black girl, a young black boy will look at this type of programming and be like, man, I can't be that person. I can't be smart like Dwayne and still be cool, because we need that, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. I agree with Josh. It is very hard to create a sequel that hits the same.
Woo!
You know what I mean? So
Woo!
I'm not gonna say they got a lot of pressure on them, especially to get the youth interested and to want to even watch the show. But I think it can be done. Depending on what goes on.
And then the moments that used to be on them types of TV shows, whether it was Martin or A Different World, where a popular artist that we all love will pop in just on that one special episode. I miss those little moments. They pop in and the whole crowd be like, ooh.
We don't got celebs like that though, but maybe potentially. But
NBA YoungBoy come in and slap one of the women.
See, no, moving on. You always take it left, bro. Moving on, you guys. So, Wendy's. I know we just talked about McDonald's yesterday, but now I want to talk about Wendy's today, because apparently Wendy's is to close nearly 30 stores after closing 240 last year, you guys. They are about to make some really big changes. And during a call with investors on last Friday, the interim CEO, Ken Cook, announced that the fast food chain will shut down around 300 U.S. locations in the fourth quarter. So by 2026, you guys, which is kind of crazy. So they can boost profits and strengthen its remaining stores. He said, quote, "When we look at the system today, we have some restaurants that do not elevate the brand and are a drag from a franchise financial performance perspective. And the goal is to address and fix those restaurants. Now, some of the stores will get upgrades or new ownership, while others will close entirely. And the move follows 240 closures last year. Cook did note that while the $5 and $8 meal deals have helped bring some customers back, Wendy's plans to shift its marketing to focus more on value and fresh ingredients, which I thought they were already trying to do with their hamburgers. I thought their hamburger meat was supposed to be fresh, never frozen, or I don't remember which chain that was. What chain is that? Burger King?
Nah, you're right. No, it was Wendy's.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, you want to, target more fresh and whatever ingredients, but just like we were saying yesterday with the Pinky Cole and maybe a slutty vegan, I am personally tired of the same fast food chains that we have, from the McDonald's to the Wendy's to the Burger King
to the Pizza Huts.
Yeah, I want to see some fresh food chains coming up from whatever times we are in right now.
Right.
So with healthy options, there should not be a reason why it's 2025 and I can't go at 2 a.m. to a drive-through and get a nice salad or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But an actual healthy one. I just don't. I don't get that. Times have changed, and with some of these restaurants, y'all gonna have to upgrade your menus to what the people and the consumers actually want to eat. If you see that more people are going either vegan or they're going more health conscious, you can't just stick to, I know it's cheaper, to do it, but you can't just stick to what y'all usually have. That's not cool. Not cool.
Unless it's part of an agenda to kill you even sooner. Don't you find that suspicious? You think all that meat that Wendy's is giving you is real meat? You think it's 100% beef when it's really not? They got 3D printed plastic beef for you to eat each and every day. Don't you find that suspicious?
Whoa, you going in on it. I will say...
I was going to...
what?
Well, what did Carly Q say? Oh, Carly Q said, get rid of them Frosty upgrades. No. Nobody asked for that.
Okay, you taking it too far, Curly. I'm not going to lie. You taking it a little bit too far, because the Frosties hit. I understand they're unhealthy.
That ain't no real ice cream.
I understand they're unhealthy. So listen, I know that. But at the same time, it's like a little sweet treat. I'm saying the other menu items. The other menu items, you want to just have options. Just give me some options. But the Frosties have to say, I'm sorry, that's their staple. That's like the one thing that they're known for is their Frosties. If they were to get rid of their Frosties, that's like McDonald's getting rid of their McFlurry. Like, you just don't do that.
Look, the McFlurry don't even hit no more, all right? Because I used to be okay, it used to be my doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to love those. But they're not that good. They're not that good, and they really hurt your stomach. I've actually come to realize that, the ice creams from Dairy Queen and the McDonald's mess me up, man. So I don't even like them anymore. But I will say, maybe if not, a Slutty Vegan grows a franchise, one place right here in Milwaukee I would love to see have its own, like, vegan
I know what
franchise
you're going to say.
is Twisted Plants. All right, I go to Twisted Plants, and actually I want to say, because when I first started going there and they like had first opened up or whatever, they were much more expensive. They're not as expensive anymore. I think it's pretty affordable now for you to go in there and at least grab a sandwich and then get a water, go on about your day. But you should have some kind of plants have some plants inside of your life instead of some fake ground up beef.
I will agree with Anita Nicole. She said it won't be fast, unfortunately, and that is the trade-off. Do you want healthy food that might take like 10, 15 minutes more?
See, but that's the thing.
Or do you just want to really just get it and go?
See, and that's the thing, man. I truly am one of them people. I can wait a solid 10, 15 minutes if you can cook that food. Like, that's why I love going to like a good Jamaican restaurant. There's one called Island Jam in Racine. Oh my God, they got some of the best jerk chicken, some of the best rice and beans and cabbage. You can call and tell them, hey, I'm finna place an order, but they really won't cook your food until you get there. Okay, you be like, hey, my name is Benjamin. I ain't gonna do the Jamaican accent anyway. Just know that I think if it takes a little bit longer to cook, I'm fine with that. I really don't want fast food like that is up in 2 minutes and I'm supposed to eat it. Because it can't be that good for me. All of the grease or chemicals that come in that. Like, I remember at one point in time when Chick-fil-A, before it became a franchise, because Racine was one of the very first places that had a Chick-fil-A there, the chicken tasted much better, much more pure. But nowadays, I eat that stuff, man, and I could just look at the meat and I could tell, like, bro, this is like glued together.
Did you know Chick-fil-A is set to test chicken and waffle sandwiches in San Antonio and Baltimore? I feel like they're losing the plot. Yeah. I feel like they're not sticking to the plan. But I don't know. Go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Well, that's what happens when the original owner, who was the father of all his kids that actually took it over, the original owner who has the vision or whatever, after he passes away and gives it to his kids never do as good a job.
Just like Apple. I feel like Apple has not been the same ever since the owner. Yeah, he died.
Well, no, that's true. Because the vision's not the same.
Yeah.
And I mean, ultimately, I know other companies are just like that. Who some people's parents owned big, large media companies and were very successful, and then they had kids, and their kids didn't become as successful whatsoever.
Right. Last thing that I will bring up for Some Juicy, and I'll make this one really quick, but I do just want to bring it up because this has been a story that's been going on for a very long time, has been in the news. But allegedly, Wendy Williams does not have, speaking of Wendy's, Wendy Williams does not have frontotemporal dementia.
What?
Apparently, a new test cleared her after 3 years under the guardianship. So this is according to TMZ, that a top neurologist confirmed this, that she does not have frontotemporal dementia, the condition that kept her under a strict guardianship for more than 3 years. So the sources told TMZ that Wendy recently took a series of neurological tests in New York City, and the results were clear that she does not have dementia. Her legal team got the results late last month and is now preparing to take some action. Okay, now the reason why this is a big deal is because this news goes against what her guardian once claimed when they said she tested positive for the illness. Experts told TMZ that frontotemporal dementia never gets better, yet Wendy has continued to improve, showing strength and recovery since getting sober 3 years ago. So her lawyers do plan to file legal documents within the next 2 weeks, asking the court to end this guardianship. So If so, listen, the attorney is ready to demand a jury trial to free Wendy out of that guardianship. And that just makes me so happy, you guys. It does. I know people have their thoughts and opinions on Wendy Williams. Even Wendy herself kind of has said that she felt like a lot of this is happening to her as karma for the things that she has said and how messy she has been on her show. But she's still a legend in the game, okay? Especially when it comes to radio, when it comes to like just TV shows and talk shows. And I think people have to learn to forgive. I know that's crazy, but in a situation
who
like
has to
that,
do the forgiving, no Juice? Is it her or is the people who did this to her?
I think she already kind of has
forgiven herself.
She needs to. If she hasn't, I think she could be working on it.
What is she forgiving herself for?
Because she kind of has messed people's lives up by, being messy on the show and telling people's business and when they didn't want their business to be out there. And I understand that was her job to kind of do the gossip and all of that stuff. But I just feel like there's a level that she took it where she probably is feeling like, okay, I didn't have to do all of that. All of that made her a legend in the game. But, I don't know, just forgive her, because when you get older in your life, you kind of start reflecting a little bit, I would assume. And you kind of come to the conclusion like, man, was it worth it for me to go in like that? But I don't know. She's still a legend in my eyes.
I mean, no, Wendy Williams, definitely a legend.
I don't wish her bad on her, because that guardianship stuff is weird. Even how Britney Spears turned out, just weird.
That's what I was going to say, though. Who should she be forgiving? You know what I'm saying? Should she forgive herself or the people who did this to her? Who put her in conservatorship? Okay, because when people do that, it's basically you're a prisoner to the next person. It's almost as if, if Juice did conservatorship over me, I couldn't leave this room unless she allowed me to. She could make me look any type of way inside of the media, just because she has full ownership rights of me. So at the end of the day, when this happened to Wendy Williams, personally, me, I found it very suspicious.
Here you go.
Okay, I really did. Given the fact that she is a media mogul, knowing a lot of things, especially that transpired over the past 5 years, from the Bill Cosby idea to P. Diddy, her having a lot of stuff on him, and just knowing
they always
a lot
had
of
awkward interactions.
Very much so. Very much so. So, and then, talking about Beyonce, all these people, she knew a lot of things that were happening in the inside. So it made me feel like somebody may be trying to shut her up and silence her. Kanye West told us they do these types of things when you get that high up. You just mentioned Britney Spears. She may have been the first one that I knew of out of our quote unquote timeline, our lifetime, that I saw be at the highest of the highs and then end up at the lows of the lows. Like one moment she's talking about toxic, 2 weeks later you see her head you see her on magazines with her head shaved. You're like, damn, what happened to Britney Spears? You know what I'm saying? So just know that when people try to take advantage of you, especially when you're a high public figure, they will try to take some kind of ownership over you and then run your name through the mud, and the media is going to do their job. And now, because everybody feels like they're a part of media, because they do social media, they got a voice too. So they'll go ahead and strip your fame even a little bit more, strip your name a little bit more. But shout out to Wendy Williams, man. Keep on fighting a good fight and try to remain free from anybody who's trying to, own you. You own you. And I just think it's crazy that legally people can do these types of things.
100% agree with that. But that was Somethin Juicy, you guys, with your girl Naomi Juice. All right, now when we come back from our 3-minute juice break, we are going to get into the conversation about community leaders, people who are leading our communities. Is that something that people even still want today? Because we talk a lot like, where are the leaders at? Where are the community leaders? Is it something that we necessarily want? Because one leader from Milwaukee was just sentenced to 16 years in prison for child sexual assault.
Yikes.
And it's got some people doubting in the idea of community leaders in general. So we're going to get into that and, the nitty gritty of the story when we come back. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. More Jammin' with Juice is coming up. Stay locked in. We'll be right back on Jammin' with Juice. But in the meantime, hit us in the chat and join the conversation. We'll take a look on the other side.